Hey, I'm Greg Pelkin. I'm the marketing manager for Trek Bicycle Stores of Florida. This is the second in the DIY new bike series. The first one, we demonstrated how to set the right seat height. This video is going to focus on shifting, and it's one of the most common questions I get. For example, this bike has 24 gears, and how do you know what gear you should be in? How do you shift the gears? So we're going to do a quick demonstration and explain how this all works in simple terms. Stay tuned. So basically, on this bike, we have a rear derailleur and a front derailleur. The rear derailleur has, in this case, 8 different speeds. That's your kind of fine-tuned steps of shifting. And then the front derailleur controls the chain rings, and that's actually like a range. So you can think of it like a low range, a medium range, and a high range. So the left shifter controls the front derailleur for your ranges 1, 2, and 3. 1 is the easiest range, 3 is the hardest range. And then on the rear derailleur, that controls your finer steps. That's the right side shifter. And then that, in this case, has 8 different gears. 1 is the easiest gear, 8 is the hardest gear. So 1 in the front derailleur, 1 in the back would be your easiest gear. Let's say if you were climbing a very steep hill, you would need a gear that was easy to push to get up that hill. Conversely, if we were going down the hill as fast as we can and we want to pedal, you'd be in 8 in the rear, 3 in the front. So really, just to kind of simplify this, our bodies, just biomechanically, we're the most efficient in basically a high RPM, kind of 80 to 90 revolutions per minute, and some elite cyclists even faster than that. But for an enthusiast, someone out riding, you should be in the 80 to 90 range if you can. And that's the easiest on your joints, it's the most efficient. So if you were gonna ride long, you'd wanna be in that range. So what you wanna do, again, is be in this sort of 80 to 90 RPMs, spinning all the time, and we're shifting our gears to get into that range. Here's a close-up of the rear shifter. So in this case, if I pull the lever towards me, it goes to a higher number, a harder gear. If I push the thumb shifter, it goes back the other way to an easier gear. Again, the higher the number, the harder the gear. And here's a close-up of the front shifter. So the left side controls the ranges or the front derailleur. So if I push the thumb shifter, it goes to the harder range, and I pull back on the shifter with my forefinger, it goes to an easier range. And you should be doing this while you're pedaling. So here's a demonstration. I'm starting in a low gear because I have to climb onto the boardwalk, and it's second chain ring, second gear. Once I get up onto the climb and my momentum gets going, I'm shifting to the third cog, or the third gear with my right hand. That's happening now. And then I'm shifting to the fourth gear pretty quickly as I get my momentum. As I come off the boardwalk, I'm coasting, but I know I'm going to be coming to a stop sign. So at that point, I'm shifting down to an easier gear, so the third gear in my right hand. And once I stop and I get going and get started again, very quickly I'm shifting gears to get up to a little bit higher resistance, the fourth and then the fifth cog in the rear. Okay, so let's recap shifting. So we want to stay at 80 to 90 RPMs, and we're just shifting gears up or down to stay in that range that's comfortable for our body. If the terrain changes, let's say we're going up a hill or down a hill, headwind, tailwind, we're also shifting to stay in what's comfortable for us. So the higher the number, the bigger the gear, the harder you're pedaling, and the easier the number on your shifter, the easier it is to pedal. That's it. Keep it simple, have fun, be safe.